doesn't really matter. They're just bounties. So
That's that good shit.
Doesn't do anything.
Let's fucking go.
17.
Oh my fucking
in
god.
bounty shot.
Yes! Jordan!
Holy
Jordan!
shit. 1.4k bounty. We're going to be chip leading after that.
$33,600. First place in the 530 bounty builder for $33,600.
You see that? I want that. Progressive knockout tournaments are insanely fun. But why are they only popular online? Why don't you see them in the live scene? Why don't you see them at your local card room? You can find them almost on any major poker site right now. So surely with a format so exciting, there must be huge PKO tournaments in the live scene, right? But you're wrong. You can't find them anywhere. If anything, during a major tournament series stop at the Wynn or one of these other major stops, you might find a PKO as a small side event. Maybe tailored to just 100 or so players for the size of the tournament. But for some reason, it just doesn't feel the same as when you play it online. So why hasn't it taken over the live scene? Well, the truth is, progressive knockouts are kind of hard to manage in the live scene. You have to keep track of bounties, you have to make sure the payouts are all correct at the end of the tournament, and you gotta make sure that players don't pocket their bounty chips while they're moving across the table. There's a lot of things to keep track of. It's easier when you're doing it online and you have your own poker site and the software is taking care of everything for you right there, real time. But when you're doing it live, there's so many things to keep track of, and well, that's a problem. But I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna change that right now. I'm gonna make it fun and easier for card rooms to run progressive knockout tournaments. So come with me from the very beginning of our journey down in our first real card room where we're showing off this product. Introducing the product for the first time to the masses down in Texas at Spades Poker House in Houston, Texas. Now, poker, it's a beautiful game. It strikes the perfect balance between skill and luck. Probably a lot more luck than skill.
Come on, Father! In Jesus' name, no weapon formed against us shall prosper.
My Lord, you know your purpose for me.
And any player can win on any given day, given the cards fall in their favor. And during the whole tournament explosion that we were witnessing live after Chris Moneymaker won the main event, bounty tournaments were introduced where when you eliminate a player from the tournament, you would get a set bounty for eliminating that player. But the problem with that format is that the bounty never changes. So sure, at the beginning of the tournament, it could be that that bounty is a significant portion of your buy-in that you get back, and it's really meaningful to knock that person out. But as you progress through the tournament and you're at the later stages, you don't really care about knocking people out. You just want to survive and make the pay jumps and all that stuff. The bounties become meaningless. And then around in 2015, PokerStars introduced progressive knockouts to the masses on their website. And they loved them. They loved them right from the beginning. And I can tell you why. It makes sense. Half your buy-in goes into the bounty pool and half your buy-in goes into the regular prize pool. When you eliminate a player, you keep half of their bounty as an instant prize, and the other half gets added onto your own bounty, making you an even bigger and juicier target for the other players at the table. Hence the progressive knockout. So it incentivizes more action right from the beginning of the tournament, because the bounties, they get bigger and bigger as the tournament progresses, meaning they don't drop off, that you can't just ignore them or anything. They're a significant portion of the prize pool that you are aiming to win. So it changes the game completely, and really it is just different from the regular tournament grind. And clearly, the online sites have figured something out about these progressive knockouts, because they make up a huge portion of all these online sites' daily tournament schedules. Yet in live poker, you don't see them anywhere. And that's where I come in. I'm going to bring progressive knockout poker to the live scene using these things right here that you see in front of me. These devices will keep track of everybody's bounties in real time as the dealers enter in the knockouts. And all the payouts would be readily available for the staff to keep track and make sure everybody's paid out accordingly. And so now we've moved past that drawing board phase of development of our whole project and everything, and now we are in an actual real-life poker room testing out this product. We are currently running live PKOs at Spades Poker House in Houston, Texas. Shout out those guys. They have been incredibly patient and helpful, obviously, in letting us use their room as our first real-world environment for our products. And that's been incredibly invaluable, and the staff there has been super helpful. And we've already had multiple events at their venue. At the first event, it was pretty successful with no like marketing or anything. It was just kind of like, hey, here's a PKO. And people showed up and they were pretty confused to how the bounty math was working out, because you have to remember these people, especially the live scene in Texas specifically, they're rather, they don't come from an online background. The way we were showing it from the beginning was, so the amount that was shown on the bounty is the amount that you would win. That is the amount that you would put into your pocket, right, as a prize. And then half of that amount would be added onto your own bounty. So right here in this example, I'll show you. Right, so in this example, we have a $1,000 buying tournament. And so 500 goes to the bounty prize pool and 500 goes to the regular prize pool. So the way we were doing it at the beginning is, since 500 went into the bounty prize pool, everybody would start with 250. So when the knockout would happen, you would get the winner of the bounty having their bounty increased by 125, and then the player, obviously the other player has been knocked out, but the winner would say, wait, where did the other 125 go? What happened? Where did that other portion of the bounty go? That's where they were losing, they were confused. And I tried to explain to them a couple different ways of like, oh, it's there, it's just like not really there, but it's still part of the bounty prize pool. And they were just too confused. And maybe they lost a little bit of trust from us right from the get-go, which is not a great thing. Obviously, you want to make first impressions your best, but I think we kind of messed up there because we didn't really think it would be that complicated. But a lot of people had issue with that. A lot of people even thought that we were pocketing that 125 or whatever portion of that prize pool, that they just thought we weren't paying it out, which, you know, obviously that's not what we did. Everybody was paid out. The entire prize pool was paid out in that event. But, you know, in Texas, people are so used to like being scammed, really. You know, you have these illegal rape games and stuff in Texas and all this other shady stuff that happens all the time. So I don't fault them. So sadly, after that first event and everybody was confused, we thought people would just adapt and try to get used to having the bounties being displayed that way. But that was a mistake on our part for sure. And the next event we had a little bit less than 52 players. And then the next event we had even less because people just didn't want to play. They were confused. They didn't know why the rules were so confusing. And so we had to change something on our ends, or we were just going to be dead in the water right from the get-go. And we did. We made a change. We made it so that the bounties are displayed. The entire bounty amount that's going into the prize pool will be displayed onto the device. So it's just easier to explain to people that have never seen this before that now half of this amount, 250, you'll be winning, and the other 250 will be added onto your bounty, just like this. Right? So 750 now and eliminated. Right? It's still the same winnings. The guy still won 250, but now it's easier to just keep track of all the bounty money that's in the prize pool because we're showing it all right here on the device. And after we made this change, things went a lot smoother. Now, we told them about the update and how we were showing the entire bounty now instead of just half and whatever, it was all confusing. And that's it. That was the end of it. Everybody understood it, and it was easy to follow. So we should have just done that sooner, but you know, eventually we made it happen. So I'm glad we did. We've already learned our first lesson, right? You know, don't expect players to adapt to your products. Make your product adapt to the players, right? Then everybody's happy. Our last event hit around 45 people, and I was even able to play in it myself, and I vlogged a couple hands. Didn't really know what I was doing. Kind of drinking at the same time, talking to everybody at the table, introducing myself, like, hey, this is my project, and people were like, wow, that's pretty cool. So, you know, it was really fun just sitting down and playing with people and being like, answering people's questions, like, what the hell is this? And I will say that vlogging is way harder than I thought. Just trying to record your hands and stuff and follow along and everything and trying to take notes. I didn't take any notes because I knew I would just mess everything up, and I was just trying to talk and vibe out with everybody else at the table. But yeah, that shit's really hard. I did record one hand where I made call down with King High on the river, and the table was like, damn. But besides that, I just knocked out a few people and it didn't really cash, whatever. But the guy I was sitting next to the whole time ended up winning the event. Shout out Caleb. And yeah, everybody had a good time. You know, very receptive to the bounty chains like we discussed before. and overall a good time. You know, now we are just focused on running more events, making more changes. Obviously, there's a lot of potential here with these devices on what we can do and how we display the bounties. Right now, they're just static numbers, right? They're not changing, they're kind of just there. But we can add so much, you know, so many different ideas that we can have. Like, the more rec friendly we can make it, the better. And meaning the more players that we can bring in to the poker world, right? If a slots player is walking by and they see this tournament going on with all these devices on all the tables and all the colors and animations, and are like, wow, that looks sick as hell, I want to jump in there. It's for sure going to bring in more players, right? And that's the goal. Everybody, for new players to come and for everybody that's already playing tournaments to have a better time, to experience something that they've never had before. And I wanted to document this journey from the beginning so you guys can follow along, and hopefully, you know, towards the end of it, that we've run 1,000 player entry fields, and we're at the WSOP, we're at the WPT, we're wherever. Maybe Triton, that'd be cool. I just thought it would be cool if I documented this and share it with you guys as something that's a little bit more different from your normal vlog or whatever else you see in the poker industry nowadays. I think we have a very unique product to give to you guys, and hopefully you enjoy it. And if you don't, let me know anyways. Maybe you can give me advice on what to change, right? So thanks for watching, and I can't really wait to see what the rest of 2025 has in store for us. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of big news, and if it's not, then we're probably out of business by the end of the year. But hopefully that doesn't happen. So I'll catch you guys soon. Thanks.
That's that good shit!